Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Freshman Friday. We're excited to bring you another new guest this week. We've got all the way from GC Softball. It's MacKenzie Martin. MacKenzie, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Awesome, thank you. Okay, thanks for taking time out to talk to us. Let us know a little bit about you. Let's look, just the basics. Give me hometown, high school, and what's your major here at GC?
I'm from Decula, Georgia, and I went to Archer High School, and I'm an accounting major.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So one of the things that jumps off the page for me right away for you is the fact that there's three Mackenzies on our roster this year, and I was kind of curious. Have you ever run into that many Mackenzies in one specific location before?
I actually haven't, and I didn't
Okay.
know there were that many.
Well, we got yourself. We got Mackenzie Michaels, right? Sophomore pitcher for us, and Mackenzie Hoffman, who was another outfielder,
Mhm.
I believe, right? So the three of you. Now, what does Coach do to differentiate between the three of you? Is she calling you by your last name? How's that work?
She calls Mackenzie Hoffman Kinsey, Mackenzie Michaels Mac, and then she usually calls me either Mac Martin or just Martin.
Okay, or maybe a little bit of "Hey you," something like
Right, yeah.
that, kind of point at you. I
Yeah.
got you. That must be kind of tricky, but she brought that upon herself with her recruiting. The last couple of years. I mean, she apparently Mackenzie's equal decent softball players and good recruits for Georgia College, right?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so that accounting major. Tell me about what made you decide to want to do that. Are you particularly jazzed about numbers and what's the career goal, that kind of stuff?
Well, I know a lot of accountants like in my family and stuff, and I know they're pretty successful. So I'm also into math and stuff. So I just thought that was a good route for me. And
Awesome, awesome. Well, you're a semester and a half in, so I'm sure you probably got it all figured out, and everything's running 100% smooth for you, right? How's your academics been so far?
pretty good. My first semester could have been better, but all in all, like I still had pretty much all A's and B's. So
Awesome, awesome. Well, so that's the difference, folks, at home there. Pretty good for a Georgia College student is A's and B's, like because they're high achieving academic folks. Just that's a little bit of a side. Pretty good for a guy like me back in school would be your B's and C's, but we won't need to talk about that too much. All right, so taking a look, we're playing the outfield, left hand hitter. We're doing the slap hitting stuff. When did you pick up slap hitting? What part of your career path did that come into play?
I started slapping when I was like 7 or 8 because
Oh wow.
I was a really small girl and I couldn't really hit it that far. So my dad just turned me into a slapper, and that worked pretty well until I finally got some like muscle and could actually hit the ball out of the infield. So now
Okay,
I
very good.
kind of go back and forth hitting away and slapping.
So you mentioned your dad teaching you. Would you say like was he one of the bigger role models for you as far as picking up the game of
Yes,
softball growing up and things?
definitely. Yeah, and my sister, who's 10 years older than me, who went here too. So
Okay, of course that would be Kelsey Martin. She was a
yes.
player for us a while back. Now, do you have any memories of coming to Georgia College to watch her play those 10 years ago?
I actually do. And like between games, my dad and I would like throw like the ball. I would always bring my glove, and I would always look forward to going to her games and stuff. And I remember her senior night and taking pictures on the field and stuff. So yeah,
Okay,
I remember it pretty good.
so that was probably the first couple times you got to be there at the
Hmm.
Pewplex, and now it's kind of fun to see you making your own mark here in Georgia College athletics. That's great. That's great. Tell me, growing up, and did you have plans early on of trying to play softball at the college level?
I did. It always been like a dream of mine. And I mean, I've been playing since I was like 4. So it's always like that next step that you hope you can take. And I think it's just really cool that I kind of get to live out my dream. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So lots of softball in your background. Give me is there a defining moment for you that like your biggest most exciting your event so far?
Um, I'd say in just like in any age I played.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, was there a state championship in your past, or some big hit that you made? Anything that sticks out for you?
Well, in 14 and under, like we had a really solid team, and I just think that whole season we were like 65-10 for my travel team. So I think that just that whole season was just like amazing to me, I think. And I'm like watching the girls I play with like on the TV because they're like D1
Mm,
schools like UNC and Auburn and stuff like that. So I just think it's really cool.
awesome. Well, there's a lot of outstanding softball in the state of Georgia. As you can, all of your teammates, you've probably, at Georgia College, you probably crossed paths in one way
Hmm.
or another before, whether it be travel ball or high school ball and those sorts of things. You know, looking forward, for the rest of the season, not the start that we want so far, as we haven't picked up a victory yet, but been awful close on a couple of occasions. And what kind of goals do you think you have? Game in, game out. How do you make that extra step to try and get towards that win count?
I think it's just trusting, like everyone just trusting in themselves and being confident and just like trusting the process and having each other's back and like not thinking about the past, just thinking about what we can do to better ourselves for the next game and stuff.
Got a log jam there in the outfield. Quite a few outfielders on the roster. I know
Hmm.
you've gotten some reserve spots, and I think at least maybe one start as well. But tell me about your teammates in the outfield, and is it friendly competition between you?
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we're still trying to like figure out who's gonna play where and all that, but we all like each other. So I mean, any chance we get, we support each other. So it's
Awesome.
pretty good.
Well, at the plate, in those slap hits, what's the goal set there for you, and what type of location of where you're depositing the ball? How does your mindset go from each at bat?
Depending on where runners are, but if there's like a runner on first, usually the 5-6 hole in between third and short is like pretty open. So any outside pitch you get, you should be hitting that like right through that hole and advancing the runner.
Gotcha. So it changes based upon where the defense is, much
Oh
like
yeah.
other hitting situations,
Hmm.
and trying to find the gaps and holes in there. That's awesome. Okay. Well, so yeah, this accounting major and moving forward, what's been your favorite class so far?
I would say
I put you on
my
the spot there, aren't
yeah.
I?
I would say my GC1Y class now, it's called Exploring Friendships. And it's just about like overall having good friendships like that will last forever. And I really learned a lot about like being a better person and like all that entails into having a good friendship. And I just think my teacher's a really good
Interesting. Who's the
person.
professor for that?
His name's Jim. He just likes to be called Jim. I don't remember his last name, but yeah, I
Okay.
just call him Professor Jim. So
Well, that's one of the fun parts of the liberal arts, message that we have here at GC. You're going to get, a lot of experiences in different areas. That sounds a lot like, maybe sociology and some elements there that,
mhm.
uh, and and make you that well-rounded individual by the time you finish up. We want you to, move on in that accounting career, but also have the ability to be involved in other areas of society as well. So that's kind of cool that you're getting to experience that right away.
Mhm.
So big weekend coming up. We're headed to Barton College on Sunday. Always a tough team for the region, so that should be a fun doubleheader there. Gosh, going to be a little bit before we're home. I think it's like the end of the month before we're back at the Peeler Complex, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we have like a good 2, 3 weeks till we're home
Yeah,
again. So we're gonna be traveling a lot.
yeah, yeah. So get your suitcases together and
I know.
kind of stuff. You're going to be living out of that bus for a while. But yeah, so I wish you the best of luck over the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to start conference play even in that time frame, and then
Mhm.
we'll bring you back home to the the complex in a couple of weeks. Again, if you can't travel and check out Georgia College softball, make sure you look at gcbobcats.com. I'll do the best I can to have you all the links to broadcasts and live stats and all that kind of stuff. Thanks again for being with us today, MacKenzie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Or Mac Martin, I should say. Right? Okay, so thank you for your time, and thank you folks at home for tuning in here for another Freshman Friday on Bobcat Nation.